what is a coach? A coach is someone who helps you with your in-year goals and skill development. So, hey, I need to learn to row. A coach is going to teach you the skills and techniques. The next one is a mentor. And this is where there's tons of confusion. When people say, well, I've got a mentor. Well, that's great. So that example is, hey, I've been there, done it before, and I'm going to share with you my experiences. So a mentor is someone who helps you shape your dreams. In a business world, whether you're an entrepreneur or in a corporate world, it has to be somebody who actually has the clout, the influence, and the capability to open doors and to remove roadblocks. So that sort of is the lay of the land as we think about sponsorship and mentors, which really gets to I think the crux of the issue. It's harder for women to actually get sponsors, and there's a couple, like even in Sheryl Sandberg's book, Lean In, she talks about, women are over-mentored and under-sponsored. And then if you look at the HBR article, they talk about there's a deep reluctance for senior men to sponsor junior females. And this to me was very interesting because, to be honest, I didn't even think of it, but it's like, and part of the reason for that is the perception of what that can mean, which is the guys are worried that people look at them and think that they're having an affair. And it's like, this is 2016, and it's like, seriously, are we living in 1970? Anyway, it's an illuminating article, but it does give you a little bit of the reality of what you're dealing with is easy to mentor, difficult to sponsor. So once you recognize that, then it actually gives you the tools and the ammunition to figure out, okay, here's what I'm going to do. And by the way, do not think that the answer to this is you're going to find a senior female who's going to sponsor you, because sponsorship's got nothing to do with gender. There are some people who are naturally vectored towards wanting to do it, and there are others who are not. And I'm sure everyone here has got great examples of, hey, here's a really successful female. She's been great. Terrible sponsor. Why is that? She had to claw her way up because, it was a difficult time. And now it's like, you should do the same. And lots of examples like that with men. So there's actually a fairly small pool, in my experience, of people who actually get it, who want to be a sponsor. And it goes back to, I'll give lip service to it, I'm sponsoring someone. But what do they really do about it? And I will tell you that being a sponsor, first of all, it's amazing. Because once you get that individual that you truly believe in, and you see their success, but you have to be willing, when the doors are closed and that individual's not in the room, to actually stand up for them. And I find it very interesting. It's not that many people are willing to do it. They'll talk a good game, hey, this person is great, but when that opportunity is being presented, or should they be promoted, and someone disagrees, then they are silent. So sponsors need to have a true commitment and be willing to be brave in terms of doing it. I think you actually have to approach this with a bit of a plan. So the first thing, you have to map out what are the attributes that you admire. It's a little bit like, think of your closest friends. Sponsors have to have that assimilation, because if you don't, you're never going to get that true support and commitment. So what we do is we map it out and we say, hey, what are the skills and attributes of people that I admire, that I really want to work with? And then the next thing you do is you actually come up with a list of whatever the entity are, whether you're an entrepreneur or in a corporation, is who are the people who actually are in a position to be a sponsor. And we've found that in PwC. It's fascinating because we have this conversation and say, well, do you think you have a sponsor? And everyone says, absolutely. And it's like, well, who are they? And more times than not, they are picking someone who is great individual, but not in a position that they can actually truly sponsor an individual, because they're not at the table when the real discussions take place about roles and opportunities. So in identifying sponsors, you have to actually be a little bit sort of ruthless around it, which is not everyone is actually in a position to be a sponsor. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't have relationships with individuals. I would actually suggest that those are more mentoring relationships. They can help and support behind the scenes, but when push comes to shove, especially as that really interesting opportunity takes place, you need somebody who's actually at the big table.